Hello and welcome everyone, it's Capcan and we're gonna look at our Warlock talent tree from Dragonflight beta. What do we have here? We're starting with destruction we're starting with the destruction variant of this stuff because you need to take at least something here, but it's gonna be overall review of the Warlock talent tree itself. And we have here that for destruction, demonic circle is already been taken. Maybe it's for the every Warlock as well. Let's see. Affliction, demonology. So yeah, you don't really have, so they are just identical, at least from like this part, and they all have demonic circle, which summons a demonic circle for 15 minutes, cast demonic circle teleport to its location, and remove all movement slowing effects. That's what we currently have. It's one of our mobility skills. So our general tree, let's go. Fell domination, instant 3 minutes cooldown. Your next imp, Voidwalker, incubus, succubus, fell hunter or fell guard summon spell is free and has its casting time reduced by 6 seconds. So that's more of a quality of life stuff. There are definitely some situations where your pet will die and then you need to resummon it very fast, but most of the times your pets don't really die and you just use it because it's free skill that gives you very fast time of summoning your next summon, which means that yeah, you can theoretically ignore it. But you don't really have to, of course. Quick Fiends reduces the cooldown of Fell Domination by 30 seconds, and there are 2 points here by 1 minute. So you can spec into this talent, which is a little bit weird. Okay. Demon Skin. Your soul leech absorption now passively recharges at a rate of 0.2% of maximum health every 1 second, and now may now absorb up to 200% of maximum health. Okay, something similar, if I'm not mistaken, we already have. That's some defensive talent. Quite obviously. Burning Rush increases your movement speed by 50%, but also damages you for 4% of your maximum health every 1 second. Movement pairing effects may not reduce you below 100% of normal movement speed, lasts until cancelled. Again, our baseline skill that we currently have. Fell Armor. When Soul Leech absorbs damage, 5% of damage taken is absorbed and spread out over 5 seconds, reduces damage taken by 1.53%, and 10% of damage taken is converted from the burst damage to dots, which is always good. Imp Step reduces the damage dealt by Burning Rush by 25%. Burning Rush increases your speed by an additional 5% and then reduces the damage dealt by Burning Rush by 50%, which is quite massive. Yeah, it's gonna be way more efficient for you to use this speed up, and it gains additional speed, which is great as well. Okay, so I really like Warlock trees from the looks of it instantly, because yeah, it feels like there is quite a lot of choice and different sections to them. Let's start with the left one. Curses of Enfeeblement grants access to the following abilities: Curse of Tongues, which reduces enemy cast speed, and Curse of Exhaustion, which reduces enemies' movement speed, which are more like, of course, PvP abilities, but you can use them efficiently in other situations as well. Amplify Curse, instant 30 seconds. Your next Curse of Exhaustion, Tongues or Weakness is amplified. Curse of Exhaustion, additional 20% movement speed reduction. Curse of Tongues increases casting time by an additional 40%, so it's 90% reducing cast speed. Okay. And Curse of Weakness, enemy is unable to critically strike. Oh, yeah, so that's pretty good stuff. 100%, especially with Curse of Weakness, and especially in PvP. Demonic Embrace, stamina increased by 10%, so just straight up health increases, okay. Demonic Inspiration, feeling a soul shard increases the haste of your primary pet by 5% for 8 seconds. Haste of your primary pet. Quite interesting, okay. Desperate Power. Drain life heals for 15% more while below 50% health, and here 30% more while below 50% health. I'm sorry. Full Mouth reduces the cooldown of Amplify Curse by 10 seconds. Man, that is very defensive part of the tree. Like, very defensive. So everything here is either increases your life, increases your health gains, or somehow decreases damage of your enemy, or like damage or its speed, which is quite interesting that we have like this kind of a dedicated section. Dark Pact sacrifices 20% of your current health to shield you for 250% of the sacrificed health, plus an additional spell power multiplied by 5 for 20 seconds, usable while suffering from control impairing effects. Again, one of the cooldowns, defensive cooldowns against burst damages, which is pretty good as well. And what we have here, Sweet Souls. Your Hearthstone heals you for an additional 10% of your maximum health. Any party or raid member using a Healthstone also heals you for that amount. Maybe it heals you for 10% of maximum health, not for the amount that your allies are gonna be healed. But either way, for like, yeah, for raids, it's very cool that you have this mechanic. It's, yeah, it may not come in the times when you need it. And definitely it's a little bit unstable talent, but it's pretty interesting just from the stylistic point of view. And yeah, it's just cool thing that you can have. Like, your party or raid members use Healthstone and you heal for as well with them. I like it very much. Choose one. Ichor of Devils. Dark Pact sacrifices only 5% of your current health for the same shield value. Oh, so minus 15% sacrificing, which means like, yeah, which means like 15% heal of your health. But it's current health, and if you're using Dark Pact on your low health, then it's probably not gonna be as crucial still. Or Frequent Donor reduces the cooldown of Dark Pact by 15 seconds. Okay, so 45 seconds cooldown, which means that you... Man, it's very, very good. It's like you're getting it's extensive, nice shield for 20 seconds, which means that it's probably gonna be... it's probably gonna help you, and it's gonna expire not from the time but from the damage it soaked. So yes, probably Frequent Donor is very powerful, especially if you're like using it on low health. Accrued Vitality. Drain life heals for 15% of the amount drained over 10 seconds. So additional health drain from the drain life. Man, it's just very interesting how they've like positioned everything here. Okay, let's go with center part. Abyss Walker. Using Demonic Circle Teleporter or Demonic Gateway reduces all damage you take by 4% for 10 seconds, which can be quite handy in some encounters, especially in raids. Yes, okay. Wrathful Minion. Feeling a soul shard increases the damage done by your primary pet by 5% for 8 seconds. Or it increases Grimoire of Sacrifice damage by 15%. Feeling a soul shard. Wait a second. There was already feeling. So there's a haste. And here's the damage done by your primary pet. So you're either increasing your pets, or you're getting more damage from Grimoire of Sacrifice. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Targets resurrected with Soulstone resurrect with 20% additional health and 15% additional mana. And then it goes up to 40% additional health and 30% additional mana, which means that, yeah, if you're gonna 100% rely on your soulstone getting off, it's gonna be pretty cool that you can have. Yeah, if you're like on the brink of not making it through the encounter and you're 100% sure that somebody is gonna, especially your tank, is gonna die, and you're gonna get soulstone on them and they're gonna resurrect, and you'll need their 40 additional percent of health and mana be up straight up, then it's gonna be okay. But in most situations it's probably more of a utilitarian but not 100% chance taken talent. So Sweet Souls we've already saw. Demonic Gateway, which is an optional talent now, creates a demonic gateway between two locations. Activating the gateway transports the user to the other gateway. Each player can use a demonic gateway only once per 1.5 minutes. So yeah, not all warlocks want to use it, just because like it's like with the with paladins immunities, or like just buffs that redirect damage to you and stuff like that. You have them. You often don't really have situations where you crucially need them, because you're either gonna make it through or you're not gonna make it either way with using it. And it's more like for a coordinated groups where everything gets where people can talk to each other and they can like say, okay, we need this here, we need that there. Please use it. Please give him this buff at that point of the fight, or just in packs where people are more of a, if the user of the class is more of a thoughtful person, then yes, that is gonna be of course 100% very useful. But for people who forget to use it anyway, or they just don't care, they want to deal damage, and with all your utility they like, no please, I'm not into that shit, yeah, they'll probably even skip this stuff, even though it's very, very good ability. Strength of Will. Unending Resolve reduces damage taken by an additional 15%. Okay, so we have additional defenses on our defensive cooldown, or Demonic Durability reduces the cooldown of Unending Resolve by 45 seconds. And we need to know how long does it works. Unending Resolve, yeah. So it's 3 minutes cooldown and it's 25%. Instead of 3 minutes only, not 4. Oh, so it's gonna be 2 minutes 15 seconds. Or you're gonna, yeah, so if you know that you have like one time when you need to reduce as much damage as you can possibly can, then you're taking first talent, and especially probably for PvP as well. If you know that you just need your Unending Resolve in order to lessen the impact on your healer's mana, and you can survive all the encounters, all the burst waves, no problems anyway, without additional reducements of damage, then you're probably taking Demonic Durability for more of an uptime on that stuff, for more help to the healer's mana and stuff like that. Okay, let's take something here. But still more and more defensive utilitarian talents, which is quite interesting. So only like 2 or 3 talents which gave you damage. Lifeblood. When you use a health stone, gain 7% leech for 20 seconds, or 15% leech for 20 seconds. Yes, okay, quite interesting as well. So again, additional healing, additional, even though it's only once every fight, which means that it's not a lot. Choose one. Howl of Terror. But again, for situations where you definitely you need to heal yourself 100% and your health is in a very, very grim state, you're probably gonna want this talent. Let's go with the right part. Howl of Terror, instant 40 seconds cooldown. Let loose a terrifying howl, causing 5 enemies within 10 yards to flee in fear, disorienting them for 20 seconds. Damage may cancel the effect, so AoE Fear, which is good, of course. And Mortal Coil, instant 45% seconds cooldown, horrifies an enemy target into fleeing, incapacitating for 3 seconds and healing you for 20% of maximum health, which is probably gonna be way more so like, yeah, you're probably gonna take Mortal Coil more, because it's free instant heal for 20% health with pretty low cooldown. AoE Fear is great, and AoE Fear, of course, it's even way better in PvP, in mass PvP especially. But Mortal Coil is just reliable stuff on your bosses, on your M+ to help with healing, to have an additional defensive cooldown and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I definitely like Mortal Coil more, but situational. Everything is quite situational, nothing is useless here. It increases your and your pets maximum health by 6%, so stamina increase and then maximum health increase, which means that you're gonna be a pretty tough boy. Banish, 1.5 seconds cast time, banishes an enemy demon, aberration or elemental, preventing any actions for 30 seconds, limit 1, casting banish again on the target will cancel the effect. Again, one of our utilitarian skills, mostly for your PvE encounters, when you need to banish someone for 30 seconds. It's quite obvious how you're using it. Probably many people don't really use it in any situations, and yeah, it's gonna be optional, as it should be. When fear ends, the target is slowed by 15% for 4 seconds and for 30% for 30%. So that's more, again, in my opinion, that's more of a PvP stuff here, because you're hardly gonna use fears on bosses, and then you're gonna need slows against some adds on bosses in raids. So Greater Banish increases the duration of Banish by 30 seconds. Banish now affects undead, which makes it more usable in different situations. Still, the skill stays the same. Shadow Fury stuns all enemies within 8 yards for 3 seconds, 1 minute cooldown, 1.5 seconds cast. That's not an optional talent, probably, maybe in some raids, but yeah, like in M+, you're 100% taking it. In PvP, you're 100% taking it, because it's just an AoE stun for 3 seconds with 1 minute cooldown, and yeah, it's just very, very powerful. It reduces the cooldown of Shadow Fury by 15 seconds and increases its radius by 2 yards, which means 10 yards and 45 seconds, which can be better if you're clearing packs in M+, on a way faster time period than 1 minute. So it can mean that you will have your AoE stun every single pack, or every other iteration of time. Or Shadow Flame slows enemies instant 15% seconds, slows enemies in a 12-yard cone in front of you by 70% for 6 seconds. Oh, so additional AoE slow with 15 seconds cooldown, which helps you definitely kite AoE packs of mobs. And probably is way better in PvP. Not probably, 100% is way better in PvP. Because just frontal cone, 70% slow in AoE, 15% seconds, that's what you want 100%. Okay, let's go with this part, then go center and left. Teachings of the Black Harvest. Your primary pets gain a bonus effect. Imp. Successful Singe magic casts grant the target 4% damage reduction for 5 seconds. Reduces the cooldown of Shadow Bulwark on Voidwalker by 30%. Fell Hunter reduces the cooldown of Devour magic by 5 seconds. And Sayad reduces the cooldown of Seduction by 10 seconds and causes the target to walk faster towards Demon. Oh, yeah, so it's pretty good for PvP, definitely the talent itself. And of course you can have some additional uses in PvP as well, in PvE as well. Let's take some talents. Let's take some. optional talents so that I have enough points. Oh no. Okay. Let's go like this. Ah, shit. Oh, yeah. Now, what do we have here? Oh, our soul conduit. Every soul shard you spend has a 5% chance to be refunded. That's currently one of our talents, if I'm not mistaken. Demonic resilience reduces the chance you will be critically strike. Reduces the chance you will be critically struck by 2%. All damage your primary demon takes is reduced by 8%. There's such a heavy emphasis on your demon taking less damage, which is quite interesting for me. And yeah, you're getting reduced critical damage is again very, very PvP focused stuff. Alright, soul burn. One soul shard instant cast consumes a soul shard, unlocking the hidden power of your spells. Demonic circle teleport increases your movement speed by 50% and makes you immune to snares and roots for 8 seconds. Demonic gateway can be cast instantly. Drain life. Gain and absorb shield equal to the amount of healing done for 40 seconds. Equal to the amount of healing done. Okay. Health funnel restores 140% more health and reduces the damage taken by your pet by 30% for 10 seconds. Health stone increases the healing of your health stone by 30% and increases your maximum health by 20% for 12 seconds. Again, very heavy defensive, mostly defensive stuff here. Mobility as well is gonna be probably used for defensive purposes, which means like, yeah, which is quite interesting. I haven't really saw, for now at least, in all the classes that I've already like looked through, I haven't really saw that much of defensive self cooldowns and self passive self talents. So it's definitely something from the out of the ordinary. And it's, yeah, and even your last talent is defensive, is like very defensive oriented. And previous to last talent is very defensive oriented. Quite cool, quite cool. I guess warlocks will have a very... They will have an ability to be very tanky. That's all that I can think about here. And very self-sufficient, very... yeah, easygoing in open world by themselves as well. Pretty cool. Okay. Summon Soulkeeper. Summons a soul, but I for the life of me, I can't really understand why there is so much emphasis on healing your pets. Maybe I haven't played Warlocks as much, and I've mostly played Destruction, because Affliction, I don't really like dots as much, and Demonology wasn't quite... as powerful in middle of BFA, when I've played Destruction, yeah. So like very a lot of talents for your pet's health. Let's go with center part of the tree now. Yes. So. Soul Link, 10% of all damage you take is taken by your demon pet instead. All right. And that is massive. Like 10% damage. Maybe that's why you need more defensive stuff for your pet, for them not to die instantly. Not instantly. Of course, you're not taking so much damage, but 10% is gonna be at least something on them. While Grimoire of Sacrifice is active, your stamina is increased by 10% instead. But I don't really think that 10% stamina is worth 10% of all damage you taken is redirected. And it's one talent, which is like, I guess it's just amazing. Soul Armor. When your health drops below 35%, the percentage of damage shared via your Soul Link is increased by additional 5 and 10%, so minus 20% damage taken on like... what the hell? That's very powerful. And it's all defensives. It's almost all defenses. Oh, it's so interesting that, yeah, man, okay. Grimoire of Synergy. Damage done by you or your demon has a chance to grant the other one 5% increased damage for 15 seconds. Damage done by you or your demon has a chance to grant the other one 5% increased damage for 10 or 10% increase for 15 seconds. Man, it's very powerful as well. So you want to take like you probably want to take all these three parts, especially, well, maybe you can go without soul armor because it relies for you to stay below 35% health, which is probably unlikely. It's gonna be good in raid encounters. In Mythic Plus, probably you will have you will either be on 35% health and lower, and then you're gonna start healing very fast in order for you not to be on that low of a health. And maybe if you're in raids, or maybe if you're in raids in very hard encounters, your healers doesn't have too much mana and everything, and you need to try to survive progressing encounters for as long as you can, then this talent probably is gonna be good, not okay, good. But yeah, like these talents and these talents, they are just approximately 3 procs per minute. So it's like what? 45, but 3 procs either for you or your demon. So yeah, it's like 45 seconds uptime, but for someone, either you or your demon. Summon Soulkeeper. Summons a Soulkeeper that consumes all tormented souls you've collected, blasting nearby enemies for 22% of spell power chaos damage every 1 second for each tormented soul consumed. You collect tormented souls from each target you kill and occasionally escaped souls you previously collected. So yeah, that's definitely M plus talent, 100%. An additional AoE cooldown for you to ramp up through the packs. Inquisitor's Gaze. Summon an Inquisitor's Eye that attacks your enemies for 1 hour. Oh, I saw something similar, right? We had something similar to that stuff in talents before, where little eye were following you and attacking everyone, and probably that's more of a single target damage cooldown. Yeah, you're probably gonna take one or another depending on if you're focused against single target or multiple targets, and especially multiple targets that die quite fast. All right, let's go with this part of the tree. Fell Synergy. Soul Leech also heals you for 25% and your pet for 50% of the absorption it grants. So you have additional heal. You have like Leech. And I don't really know how big of a numbers does this talent will get you. It's cool, and it's defensive again. It's mind-blowing for me that we have like almost everything that goes to like restoring your health, giving you slows against enemies, giving you additional like cooldowns on your movement abilities, giving you stamina, giving your pet stamina, giving you crit chance damage received decreases, giving you more defensive attacks received that deal at least 5% of your health, decrease unending resolve cooldown by 10 seconds, cannot occur more than once every 25 seconds. So you can have uptime on your defensive cooldown way more, again, if you're dealing with something hard hitting and you don't really have that much life. Man, what the hell? It's so weird, but it's so cool. Claw of Endereth. Drain life now channels 30% faster and restores health 30% faster. Okay, so even more emphasis on you draining life, even more emphasis on you having this like ability to be self-healer 100% time from like 5 different passives and 2 different actives. Very cool. It's just like, yeah, it goes into the fantasy of the class like perfectly. And it's interesting that if you can have so much defensive power in your talents of general tree, it means that you have so much offensive power in your specialized trees and just baseline, which I really like. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day. Please subscribe to my channel and goodbye.